They fought for our country, and when they needed us most, they were betrayed.
There was a dying man she was caring for, and as she was cleaning him, she took a ring off his hand.
Wallets, cash, even the wedding ring of a dying patient.
Those who put their lives on the line for our country, victims in the one place they trusted for help. 5 on your side, Chief Investigator Ron Regan is here with us tonight. Ron, we're trying to wrap our heads around this. You found hundreds of veterans seeking medical assistance. They became crime victims, and some of this was caught on camera.
Well, crime at Cleveland's VA hospital and its 17 other locations apparently reached a level so extreme, something had to give. And it did. Crime was cut dramatically, but not until veteran after veteran was victimized. They once risked their lives for their country. Now, years later, facing another risk.
They don't recommend that you bring stuff that's valuable.
Jim Dombrose took that advice when he sought medical help.
I was well taken care of.
But others are becoming crime victims.
The first thing I noticed was, where's his rings?
And few more heartbreaking than 88-year-old Jasper Alexander.
Both rings were gone, one on each hand.
Her father was a paratrooper in Vietnam.
That was what he loved, being that soldier, being that person who took care of the country. He loved that part.
Now paralyzed, he was being treated here at Cleveland's VA hospital.
By the time I got there, he had just passed. And I noticed I held his hand, and that's what made me ask where his rings were.
A nurse's aide did the unthinkable.
You took his jewelry off of him while he was deceased. And that really broke my heart that somebody would do something like that.
And she didn't stop there. Hidden cameras captured Jessica Lowry supposedly on the job caring for patients, instead rifling the pockets of a victim's coat, stealing both it and the cash inside. A one-woman crime spree, leaving 13 others victimized before the VA finally caught up with her. Erin Stone is a Cuyahoga County prosecutor.
They decided to conduct basically a covert operation. They set up covert cameras, some in common areas for the employees, some in patients' rooms with consent, of course. And they also used bait money that they would place in places, and they finally caught her on camera in a few instances.
It was among 224 thefts we found in 2016 and 17.
They've sacrificed a lot for us, and for them to come back here and be victimized by someone who is supposed to be caring for them is particularly heartbreaking.
Everything from jewelry to cash, laptops, even military medals. We traveled here to Washington to ask the VA, how did thefts in Cleveland compare to VA hospitals across the country? But we are still waiting for those records, plus a security review of just how effective security and safety has been at Cleveland's VA hospital.
All family and the taxpayers, they need to see accountability.
Accountability for crimes like this, the theft of a vital medical device a veteran relied on to relieve pain. Brad Beeson is a federal prosecutor.
He received a combat-related injury in Vietnam, and that this was would address the pain, his back pain.
Another hidden camera caught it all on tape.
They were able to review the videotape that day, and then based on the videotape made an identification.
Bruce McCauley was sentenced to 6 months in jail.
But to steal from a veteran at the VA who's seeking treatment, it's just unacceptable.
And not acceptable to veterans who rely on the VA for care.
The person that would do that is one of the lowlifes, I would say.
That is very low, and I can't believe somebody would do that.
Yeah, I think the security ought to be a little tighter.
And security was tightened. Serious offenses dropped by a full 67% by the end of last year. Plus, the police chief was named Chief of the Year among 170 VA hospitals nationwide. Even so, he declined to talk with us for this report. On 5 on your side, Chief Investigator Ron Regan.